Good morning, everyone. This is Maryanne Ramos. I'm standing at the entry of the Chelsea Senior Center at 10 Riley Way to reminisce about some of the great things that have happened over the last 24 years. Hello. I would like to show you Tuki the donkey, who's been a big part of some of the activities in this room. So Tuki, have anything to say? He's shy. So anyway, this is what we call the multi-purpose room. It's seen so many great exercise programs. When I first came, the center had less resources, but we did have one exercise teacher, Susan Brown. I learned so much from her as her translator. Later, we used the old VHSs to do more exercise programs because people loved it. Today, in the more recent times, we have many experts in yoga, in weight training, and many others that have been offered to us by Mystic Valley Elder, and we really appreciate that. So this has also been a party space. I just can't tell you enough about all the things that have happened in our parties. There's actually two kinds of parties that we've had, and many special events. The what we call the luncheon, the monthly luncheon, has many traditions that you probably noticed if you watch Channel 3. Pennies from Heaven and other things like that. There's been DJs like our famous George from Chelsea Library. There have been some special things that I had a greater part in, such as talent shows, fashion shows. It's been wonderful. There's been times when people got so happy because they went back to the 60s, and in their hearts and minds, they were back to the 60s and 70s, and they danced like they were young and free. You see beautiful moments. Now, the La Fiesta Latina is something that developed after I got here. I'm so happy that it did. The Fiesta Latina, you've seen a lot of it on Channel 3 if you're a regular viewer. But we've had wonderful things such as the Mother of the Year program, where you've seen some of our members have voted each other to be crowned as the Mother of the Year, honoring all mothers. There has been great cultural phenomenon here. People have come with their genuine regalia from Mexico to do dances from Guadalajara. We've seen professional singers from Mexico, professional singers from Guatemala. But the greatest times I remember are the more humble ones, with people like Justa Escalera and Ana Maria Vega and Hortensia Sanchez singing their hearts out here, and singing with great verve. You might hear more from Justa later in the broadcast. She's famous for imitating Celia Cruz, and she does azúcar. I couldn't go on without mentioning DJ Koki. DJ Koki has an alias, Carlos Rosado, but when he's in the parties, he's DJ Koki. He's done a great job just getting everybody excited to get up on the dance floor, and it's been a wonderful time for many people, and every party's a little different. Also, special events. We've had, when I first started, there was so little in terms of money or resources. We invented our own fun. We had sing-alongs that had people singing in Yiddish, Polish, Spanish, Cape Verdean Creole, English, of course, all at the same time to celebrate the holidays. We developed over time. We grew a lot. I grew a lot too, and I'm very, very grateful for that. Some of our great special events had to do with Bunker Hill Community College. They were here since Dean Burnett, sharing with us. Sometimes they brought entire productions here to our senior center. Our Martin Luther King Day celebration we had in the year 2002, they brought all of their staff and all of their speakers to this space. We had 100 people in attendance. There's another person I have to mention called Anthony Abadi. He worked for AARP's supported work program. And we were a great a great team, good things happened, and one of the things that happened, he was here to do a civil rights presentation that included age discrimination and how to help older people find a job, among other subjects. I have to tell you, too, that Tony and I, we went all through downtown Chelsea area, found slots for elders to have a job opportunity that worked very well for them. And then we came here, had an orientation for various people who were interested. And at the end of that, I actually managed to get 3 separate volunteers over the years that were of great assistance to our senior center. And you'll see and hear more about them later. Then let's move along. I'd like to show you the conference room. Hello, everyone. Here we are on the first floor again, but this is the room that was once known as the conference room. Right now, it's the great office of our senior advocate, whose name is Geraldine Portillo, and we're so happy that she's here. But this room has seen many other chapters in the story. It's been the place where it was a boardroom for all kinds of meetings, and it also, for me, was a good place to have certain kind of intimate spaces to do programs such as the writers group. There was a woman that lived in Chelsea many years ago named Annie Adams. She said, Maryanne, I need to write my family stories and tell my husband, he was dying in the hospital, I need to do this for my kids. So from that came a life writing class way back in the 20th century. We had a core group. They wrote tremendous stories about their first days of school, their shopping, how they met their husbands, all in the backdrop of the 1930s and 40s and 50s. That group slowly developed into a poetry group. The poetry group became bilingual, it became international. We even had an author that's from the nation of Nepal as part of our group for a time. Most recently, there's one lady that I hope you meet later who was a member for the last 25 years of the writing group. She's turning 100 in August. And she said the writing group was very special to her because she had just been widowed. She was in a really hard moment. She was new in Chelsea, and the writing group was a great way for her to start her new chapter. Only the walls could tell you everything that's happened here because I haven't seen it all. But I will say when Tony Abadi did his recruiting meeting, we got seniors from all over the city who were interested sitting in this room. And because of his program through ABCD Boston and AARP, several of the seniors in Chelsea ended up with intern slots, and some of them turned into job slots. Some of those individuals, I won't name them, started a new career and are still, at least one of them is still in her career. So anyway, Ricky, maybe it's time to go upstairs. Hello, everyone. We're now in the room that I call the classroom/computer lab. One of the most exciting things that happened for me personally were these murals. As you heard me say downstairs, we got some volunteers from the AARP program. There have been cold, icy winters when it was really hard to do as many things as we want to, because the people just couldn't come out. So what did I do with my interns? I noticed one was doodling in English class, so I said, let's do this. This beautiful cardboard that you see was originally in the U.S. Census office in Chelsea for Census 2000. I just happened to have a short part-time job with them, and I love these. I asked for them, and they said yes. So throughout the years, we've been using these cardboard folding fans for so many things, and they were perfect for this mural project. We didn't have what people do today. We didn't have proposals, funders. It was just us. I got the paint out of my house, out of my closet, and it was such a process. So the two leaders were a little skeptical at first, and the first thing that happened was Carlos Villafuerte, rest in peace, he told me what he wanted in the mural. So I tried to make him happy. Then I said, and now it's your turn, Carlos. So he has many touches here. May he rest in peace. I don't know, let's see. The mural, when did all this happen? Little by little, between the years 2006, throughout 2006, a little 2005, and they started to be asked for, exhibited, and photographed around 2007. Interestingly enough, a friend of mine, John Kennard from Charcoal, the Artists Association in Chelsea, stopped in to visit me one day. He saw these, he was blown away. And so there's been an internet presence for some of them. They have been so highly followed, highly acclaimed, and yet they're very humble. It was 24 people, one by one, two by two, just passing time. For example, sometimes one person would outline and the other person would color. Sometimes people worked as a team. If you notice over here, we have Daisy from Puerto Rico did the down-to-earth life in the country, which includes things like mongooses and bugs and butterflies and birds. And there's even a beautiful little nest. Below her is a more romantic version of tropical birds in Honduras. Carlos got out his glue stick and he added some homes that were typical of his homeland, Honduras. This one that in the middle, there were two people from Colombia who really, actually 3 people from Colombia altogether, who worked very hard to show us what would a Colombian coffee plantation look like, complete with cows. This one here is called Pretty Dawn. Albertina was from Nicaragua. She did that one. More butterflies. Everybody seems to love those. Irma Cardona, rest in peace, did several pieces about her homeland of Honduras, and this is just one of them. Her talent was so tremendous, and I will always honor her. She was an AARP volunteer here and a prime leader here for all the days that she was able. There's some things that you can see along the way. There's so many of them, we probably can't see them all. I got involved too. I won't say I didn't. This one is very poignant to me because the person who painted it was homeless. I don't know what happened to her next. I don't know if she's in the land of the living. But one day she came in and she painted this. There was a few outlines to help her out, but she painted all of that. And I really honor that she did that. We have our famous dancer Marjorie was part of this. We did this as a collaboration. Everybody did it their way. If you'll notice, Marjorie DeLore put her MD on this one to let you know that's hers. You know her as a dancer? Well, there's more to her than that. This part of the river, a woman was grieving the loss of her former husband. And she painted this over and over and over again, changing the colors. It was part of her process to grieve. And this is the end result, that you'll see a lot of feelings in that. This person here is kind of a romantic version of my mom when she was young. My mom loved goats. Because many people here are from the country. I started out in the country, so there's a lot of country scenes here. Carlos pointed out that one of the goats has got beheaded, the way somebody helped me paint it. But that's okay. So we'll move along here. My mom, by the way, is still alive. She's 95, and she doesn't look like that now. Moving to this side, and remember, ladies and gents, this is just a part of this. This has been made into a whole show a few times earlier in the century. Our friend Irma, who was an AARP volunteer, look at this amazing view she had. There's like 2 pictures within the picture. She said, "This is my treehouse where I go to escape my problems." And she wanted me to make her. So she's going to wash in the river. So we decided that this was okay. We did a few changes here and there, but this is a memory of Irma back in Honduras watching in the river. Notice this amazing, there's a deer with all the antlers coming out of this fantasy forest. Irma was so gifted. And there's more of her, by the way. So we could go on and on about this. I just want to briefly stop here because most of you have seen this, the one with the church. It's kind of iconic. I just wanted to mention that Irma designed her own world called Villa Irma. So anyway, there's more of that, but that's for another time. Let's look at what else we have in our room here. I set out these pictures of our garden project. Melissa Shook, famous photographer and Chelsea resident, got a grant to come and do photos of our activities. And this happened in the year 2011. Part of what she focused on the most was gardening. So this is a good way to get out of the hot sun and see some of the people that were active in gardening, along with Carlos Rosado, who is an employee of the center and very versatile person, DJ Gardner, and many other things. So you'll see her professional touch in these very beautiful photos. So another thing that has happened for years and years and years in this room, and also in other spaces, are my classes. The very first class that I did was called Spanish for Fun. How come? When I first came to the center in 1996, we were trying to get a happy, excited feeling for those who lived in a world where this is America, speak English, to the excitement and enjoyment they could have by learning Spanish, enough to at least meet and greet and share with their neighbors all around them. So Spanish for Fun was the first class I did. It was so big, 35 people, it was downstairs. As time evolved, this became my classroom for 2 purposes. Social English is one of them I'll mention first. Social English is not like your average school time. Everyone was always invited. They were not tested. They were not assigned a level because social was the #1 thing. No one was denied. If they couldn't hear well, they couldn't remember well, they couldn't see well. We found a way for everyone to participate as they chose. I really enjoyed it. I designed my own curriculums that were specific to the people here and their needs with large type, not small. So that was a very long-term and very satisfying undertaking, and maybe it'll happen again someday. U.S. citizenship is the other one. In this senior center, I came with a background in already helping people get their citizenship when I worked for other organizations. So I was very excited when I heard people say that they wanted to do that here. Over the years, little by little, I would guesstimate about 25 people went from permanent resident through their own hard work and dedication to becoming voting U.S. citizens. There's miracle stories. I've been to the immigration with some men and women who never had a chance to really go to school. They worked since they were kids. And yet, somehow, some way, miracles happened. And some of the people that had so much that would be against them when it comes to testing and interviewing did very, very well. And so what happened is those who were successful became, in many cases, peer encouragers, cheerleaders for others. Say, I did it, you can do it. So I feel a lot of that energy still in this room. Okay, sometimes there's been small art projects here. We did the kites for Mimi Graney's program that had to do with Esperanza. We've also done some other, various things like framing, all kinds of pictures. You'll see more about that when we go to Casita. But I wanted to show you the computers. You might see there's a photograph on the wall that says Arch. It's a graphic. Arch was a program from Mass General. Ming's son was a leader, and she worked very well with us. We did a little intro on the computers because Mass General had this program. They wanted people of our center to be able to go to their special website, the Arch, and learn a lot about their bodies and their health. And that was multilingual. What also happened is many people in my generation and older were not friends with computers. So I did a little gig called Making Friends with a Computer. Well, how do we do it? We use computer art, something I discovered by accident here. So people who needed to learn, how do you drive this mouse? And we used to call it taming the horse, domando el caballo, because there were some men that felt very frustrated trying to get the mouse to work for them. I said, it's okay, you know how to tame a horse? Oh, sure I do. Well, we're going to tame the mouse. And so what happened was that by doing art, they learned how to point and click. They learned how to dominate the mouse. And that got them ready to do the next thing. Some people just loved the art and kept doing it, but many of them felt more friendly towards the computer to do some other things like write documents or write the names of their children or go to the internet. We've even had wonderful times, especially when the weather was really severe and just a few people came. People have taken each other on tours. This is my hometown. This is what it looks like. This is what we do. This is our festival. So everyone here became a teacher as well as a learner. And that's what I told people in every class. You also are teachers. I can't tell you how much we all learn from each other with these computers. The ones donated by Mass General have recently been replaced by some newer models, but it's here. And maybe there are people who don't know that, but yes, we have a computer lab upstairs. What do you have to do? You have to be at least 50 years old. That's all it takes. Hello, this is a place that's been called La Casita, which gives the sense that it's a home away from home. Many people over the years have come here to drink coffee and share stories, do word puzzles, but mostly to create things, such as the shells, which created a galleon on the high seas. Mr. Carlos Villafuerte, rest in peace, did many things like that. This poodle with a bottle in his belly is symbolic of many of the original things that were done by people such as Daisy, people such as Justa, people such as Nereda, and many, many more. There's actually more you might see on the shelf as we go around. But I also wanted to use the table here to show you some of the things we've done outside of the senior center. Way back, says May 2003. At the time, our assistant director was called Roberto Felix. He became a leader in the Keep Moving program, which was a state program. Most of the people in Keep Moving came from very affluent communities. Chelsea was the diverse urban pioneer of the Keep Moving. We went to some great field trips to meet up with other members of the program throughout the state. This one happened in Newburyport. And so this is a great souvenir of something that was very good for our health, but it was a wonderful social, cultural experience. When else did we leave this building and go out to the big world? Well, there's a contest that the state ran. The Commonwealth Museum of Massachusetts had a statewide contest for elder artists. Again, Can you guess who was the diverse urban pioneer? It was mostly the more affluent communities who were part of this. Chelsea brought them so much salsa y sabor that they never saw before. And many of our members, over a period of, I'd say, 5 years, won special prizes and special recognition. I have some of these ribbons at home because I played too, but the ribbons were on various categories. And this is a really pretty one for people that didn't necessarily get a special prize, but they got this. So we thank the state of Massachusetts for that experience. We've done other art, some that's on the table here. These paintings were done by a husband and wife from Salvador, Jorge and Maria Velasco, and they were, in more recent times, people who have had a chance to exhibit here in our Talent Expo and were chosen by downtown coordinator Mimi Graney to be part of a mural that was done in part with senior center members under a grant of AARP. I have a few photos of some of the exciting times we had downstairs in our various fiestas. You will see some of the queens, and you will see people that you might recognize from all the broadcasts we've had here. You might also recognize Mr. Luis Prado, who became a caballero for one of our festivals. So you can see that a lot of people put a lot of love into this room. You will see pictures. Justa had a big surprise birthday. Here are some of the royal people that in one of our Mother's Day pageants. You'll see some of the art called Kamba, which is got to do with plastic mesh. Justa's a master at that, and so is Vilma Corso Cruz. You will also notice that we've done a lot of traveling. Some of the traveling pictures are out here, especially if you look over here. Believe it or not, myself, the AARP volunteers, and groups as big as 30 would get on the Purple Line train, and we would go to exciting places like Rockport. We were tourists. And nowadays it's hard to imagine that we did that, but yes, we did. And some of these pictures are us in Rockport. We did this several times. Once we even did it with a group from Vietnam who used our room that you saw, the computer classroom. When I first came here, they had a citizenship English program. It was run by a group called VACA based in Dorchester, and I had a great opportunity to meet their teacher, and we shared some cultural things together, such as Vietnamese New Year and other things. So I'm grateful for that too. So if these walls could talk, they'd say things that I haven't even heard. There's a lot of conversations that were had, all kinds of conversations here. People helped each other solve problems. They kept each other company in sad times. They laughed and told jokes during happy times. Like I say, if the walls could talk, they would have much to say. So the last thing I would like to show you all is just a peek at our garden, the Roof Tech Garden. And hello, everybody. This is the entrance to the Roof Tech Garden. When this building was first renovated, or I think it was around 1995 to 1996 when I joined it, there was help from Mass General to get the second floor ready, but there was also help from East Boston Neighborhood Health Center to get this roof deck ready. And they supplied furniture with patio umbrellas. Of course, that was a long time ago. The umbrellas flew away, but the garden is still here. I'm holding up a watering can to remind myself of the many, many times I would go out there and water plants. So this roof deck also, if it could talk, it would have many stories to tell. One of the interesting stories is Patti Moreno, who is known on PBS as the Garden Girl. She visited us with a little help from Melissa, and she was in one of our celebrations, the harvest celebration, and I took her out here, and I was very humbled because she is considered one of the nation's experts on urban gardening. So she was here. This has been a great oasis, even for those who are not necessarily gardeners. We've grown great things here like okra. Things like Mori Vivir, which is a plant that opens and shuts when you touch it. We've also grown things like tomatoes and peppers and tomatillos and potatoes. But what else happened here? It's an oasis. For many people that are elder, there is really no city park dedicated to the needs of an elder for a quiet space under the sky. This is a quiet space under the sky. And I'll tell you a secret. Chelsea Police has also used this roof deck for surveillance because it has a panoramic view. But that was a long time ago. We weren't involved. So anyway, you've seen our garden. You've seen some of my favorite places that bring back many memories. And I'm really grateful to have this chance to say goodbye in some ways that I'm going to be retiring after 24 years, but also hello, because I'm still in Chelsea. I'm still excited about the arts and about gardens. I'm still excited about music and culture, and I know I will be around for a lot of you. So I want to also thank Ricky, because I can't remember when we started knowing each other. We were both younger. It was a few years back, and we have learned so much here at the center about production, about cameras. Classes were given over the years, and many people were interested in taking them, a very international group of people. So it's been a great liaison. What will we do without Channel 3 to record our events and our parties? There is somewhere an archive of all these years, from VHS to the more modern formats, of many, 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 many events that took place in the Senior Center. And maybe someday in the future, someone will get a grant or use it as a project for their university to actually dig out some of our gems, because there are many. So I thank you very much. I thank Ricky, and I thank you, the viewers. The Senior Center is still here.
Soy Jutamar de Escalera. Vine aquí en el 2001. Estoy bien agradecida porque me levanto en la mañana pensando que vengo para el Senior Center a divertirme, porque me gusta bailar, me gusta esto cantar, y estoy muy agradecida con el Senior porque todos los días lo tengo en mi mente, a levantarme temprano para ir para el Senior. Y mis hijos están muy contentos por eso, porque yo estoy siempre activa para lo que se presente. Y aquí yo he aprendido a muchas cosas, he aprendido un poco de inglés, me llevo muy bien con mis compañeras, tenemos un grupo bien excelente. Siempre las recuerdo con mucho cariño a ella, y nos llamamos todos los días. María me llama, yo la llamo, a Hortensia yo la llamo, y todo como una familia. Y por eso es que me gusta estar en el Senior Center. Esta es mi segunda casa, el Senior Center. Pues yo he ido a eventos de gira, y hemos ido a otros Senior Center a divertirnos. Y también me gustan las manualidades. Le he enseñado a muchas a hacer lo que yo sé. Y bueno, estoy muy agradecida por eso. En el 2009 fui madre del año.
Y cuéntanos más sobre su cantar. ¿Usted canta como quién?
Yo canto como canciones de Celia Cruz. ¡Azúcar!
Yo soy Ana María Vega, vengo de Puerto Rico, tengo 5 hijos y tengo 10 nietos, tengo una bisnieta. Hace tiempo que vine aquí de Puerto Rico. Me encanta venir al Senior Center. Desde que vine aquí, el primer día que Maryanne me invitó, yo me quedé encantada con el grupo. Había un grupo de aprender inglés, yo siempre todos los días venía. Después seguí viniendo y seguí viniendo todos los días. Después participo en el grupo del voluntario para la fiesta. Participo en la fiesta, canto y alboroto en la fiesta, pero siempre hago algo. Ayudo, me encantaba primero cuando yo tenía que servir la comida, me sentía como agradecida. Ahora no la sirven a nosotros, pero mejor, anyway. Pero todavía para mí el Senior Center es muy importante, muy especial para mí. Cuando yo llego por la mañana, lo primero que hago es que me voy para el billar, porque me encanta el billar y estoy muy contenta. Y desde que llego vengo a jugar billar. Después subo a la casita, ayudo a hacer el café y a partir el pan y a conversar con las demás hermanas. Cuando no hay clase o cuando hay clase me voy para la clase con Maryanne. Y para mí el senior es como si fuera mi segunda casa. Me encanta. Cuando llega el viernes, que ya yo sé que no voy a venir sábado y domingo, estoy loca que llegue el lunes para venir de nuevo otra vez, porque estoy encantada con el senior. Y después con la biblioteca también, pues, son como si fuera para mí algo muy especial en mi vida diaria. Y estoy muy contenta, no tengo más que decir. Me encantó el día de que me hicieron Madre del Año en el 2011 y he estado bien, soy bien, como que me encanta los días el Día de la Madre, porque es muy bonito, se goza mucho, se participa mucho en el preparativo y en todas esas cosas, y eso a mí me hace muy feliz. Yo estoy muy contenta y muy feliz de estar en el Senior Center. Y pues para mí es especial, es lo único que puedo decir.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Williams. I've been a resident of Chelsea for 40 years. When I first came to this Chelsea Senior Center, I was looking for activities to do, and here at the Senior Center I found a lot of growth. First, I started out coming to fiestas. They have great fiestas here. And they have monthly socials. They have them. And so I was like, I am so interested in this because it was an opportunity for me to socialize. And I do love socializing, and we still have those programs in place. I enjoy the Chelsea Senior Center. We have a canto, el grupo here. That's amazing. It's made up of a diverse group of people from different countries, different languages. And I just love being around these people. And we will be doing much more with our canto grupo, our singing group. We have so much things that we want to do coming up for our agenda, which is touching nursing homes and going out and doing some more big things. I have personally been involved in Chelsea Chalk art project that's going on right now in Chelsea. I'm enjoying that pretty much. The city is continuing to have activities that's going on. I'm looking forward to doing more activities here at the Senior Center. They have Zumba, which I'm involved in. They have Tai Chi, which I'm involved in. They have combo exercise, which I'm involved in. And they also have a lunch program that we can all sit and socialize together on, the given day that we have. Since I've been here at the Senior Center, I have been able and I have been granted the opportunity to bring forth some programs, not many, but assist in Black History Month. We have that program going on here. When I first came, we didn't have it, but we do have it now. And we will continue to have it for the years to come. We also have Maya Angelou Day, right? We also have Maya Angelou Day. We got an a day for a special lady. And then we're going to continue to honor her, you know, and have her day. In the future, we are going to implement some more intellectual things into Black History Month here at the Senior Center. And I want to say I do enjoy other programs that have been put on here. And they still have them, which is the Christmas ceremony of the kings, the 3 kings. We have that every year, and we could continue to have that, and I enjoy that too. So I just want to continue to keep having a consistent presence here at the Senior Center, and come and enjoy my friends. And if you also are looking for something to do, just call the Senior Center and they'll tell you what programs are available. We have.
So I'm really happy that we have Helen Ann Keith and her daughter Maryanne Grace, both members of our Senior Center. 2 generations of members. We actually have 3 generations of seniors. And Helen Ann is very special because she is our Alpha Senior member. And when your next birthday is coming soon, I guess.
August 25th.
And would you like to tell us how many years you're going to have?
100.
100 years, ladies and gentlemen. So we'd love to wish her a happy birthday in advance.
Well, thank you.
And I met you a long time ago when you first came to the center. You want to tell us about that?
Well, I moved here from Milwaukee, where I lived for 3 years. Before that, I lived in different places in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. I won't get into it all. And we had a house in Florida. But I had lost my husband, and my daughter, I had been to see her, and she had been out to Milwaukee to see me. So I decided to come and try Chelsea.
We're glad you did.
And believe it or not, in 6 months, I spent all my money in buying a condo. And I'm still in it.
So what is one of the first activities you enjoyed at the Senior Center?
Well, it took me a little while to get out and find out what was going in Chelsea. But I went into the Senior Center and there was a Spanish class being taught by a lady by the name of Maryanne. And so I decided to sit in the back and listen. And she had her preparation all very carefully done. Every time we went, we had a paper with what we were going to do in Spanish, with little drawings and everything all over it. She really spent a lot of time and energy. And we had a fairly large class at that time. Then she went into different things, and we went on a trip to Rockport. I don't know if you remember it, but I remember it. And it was a very nice day trip into Rockport. I did not go on any of the to any of the longer trips because I was still going out to see my sister in Oregon. I had to save up money for that. But anyway, the next thing that I enjoyed was at Women of the Bible. Mm-hmm. And it was very interesting. That was a very interesting thing. And there was exercise, and in fact, I got invited to go to one of the Espanol dances, the Spanish dances. And I even danced in Spanish, whatever it was. What do they call that thing? The dance.
Oh, You might, I don't know if you were doing the salsa or the merengue.
The merengue, I think.
Okay, but Helen and I especially remember you in the writer's class.
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay, sorry.
They've got a time limit on this.
I know. What's the time limit? Anyway, Maryanne also had a writer's class. My mother always said I couldn't write poetry. She was a poet, but she said I couldn't write poetry. I didn't know how to. But I started writing poetry, and you tolerated it anyway. I could read it in class and nobody laughed at it. And then I sent some out and got them published, and got some plaques and stuff. And then I did some painting and got some ribbons for the painting in the state. In other words, the senior center was my lifeline for 25 years. And then my daughter has different interests than I have. She took to knitting very well, and she was making the funny little animals and doing very well at them. I didn't do so well at knitting. I'm still not a good knitter, but I'm trying. And she likes the Tai Chi and exercise, and so she comes too. When you have those programs, that's what she likes.
You know what? I remember when both of you were part of something in the year 19, the
Yes.
Senior Talent Expo.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And remember, where did your work end up? The Gallery 456, I think, on Broadway here in
Yeah,
Chelsea.
it was displayed in the.
Well, she was in it. Yes,
Yes,
her
she
little
was in
her
it,
little animals were in it, and of course I had a painting in it. But Maryanne put on an art show, my art show. Believe it or not, I had an art exhibit, and Maryanne and her husband did refreshments for that time.
In fact, Ricky did a special once about your art.
Yes. And while I did it, they put on the refreshments with it.
Oh, wow.
And I have had some very happy memories. And also, both Maryanne and I are August babies.
That Maryanne.
Yeah, this is true. You know what? I remember the new name you got at the senior center. I know
Eliana.
Your mom named you Helen Ann. You want to share the new name you got at Spanish class?
Eliana.
So, and you've been known as Ileana for
Oh
a
yeah,
long time.
the Hispanic people know me, and they invited me in one day and put me in their queen chair, which I thought was very queen for a day chair.
Uh-huh.
Which I thought was a big honor because they don't usually do that to somebody. I don't think.
You know, another recent memory I have is, remember we had our Maya Angelou Day, and you were on the program.
I was Frankie in a play.
Yeah, no, Maya Angelou, Ma.
Oh yeah, the play too. She played the role of Frankie, the little boy who
Little
loved
boy,
roses.
I am Frankie.
That was also a Channel 3 show.
I live upstairs over the store. Yeah, I was a little boy. Yeah, oh yeah, well, Maya Angelou, I did some studying up on her. She was a very unusual, very intelligent, she needed to be honored. And she was honored.
Very accomplished, yeah.
And her poetry was exquisite, but very down to earth and very true. And I was very, at the last Black History Month, I was asked to speak on her behalf, and I did. I think I did fairly well.
I think you did too. The audience gave you a big
Right.
ovation. Right?
They listened to me. They didn't shuffle. They didn't leave. They listened. They stayed there and
audience
listened.
really was there for you. I wanted to, as we close this I wanted to ask either one of you. Right now you have a voice to many people in the future who may be over 50, over 60, over 70, over 80, over 90. What advice would you give them?
I would like them to keep living, keep breathing, and to enjoy life.
Keep moving.
Keep moving and enjoy life. And vote and do what is morally right in the world.
I'm so glad you said vote, because your birthday happened at a very special time.
Yes,
Want to tell us?
tell that about your birth, when you were
When
born.
you were born, it was the same week.
Women got it the day after I was born,
The right to vote.
the right to vote. And I can remember as a little girl going to the county fairs, because my father liked county fairs. He liked to plant and grow things and create things. And the women, some of the men didn't want their wives to vote, I guess, at that time.
It was a big change in the world.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, but my mother voted. I always remember my mother. But anyway, the women always had a booth, and they would stand outside this booth and try to get the farmers' women in to talk to them, and try to get whatever women they could to talk to them and give them a pep talk about, you can vote now. You go, you vote and everything. But it took quite a few years before women actually voted even. And then they voted exactly like their husband told them to vote, most of them.
Well, we're glad that times continue to change.
Yep.
But my mother didn't vote exactly the way my father did, I know that. She had thoughts of her own.
So, any other final advice? Would you recommend the senior center?
Oh, yes.
Oh, there's a lot of varied activities, and I think most people would find something that interests them. And I mean, we've met so many nice people.
That's it.
The people are really nice in there. The staff
Yes,
and the members.
yes.
I just have very positive memories of everything I've done there.
Yes.